Katy, Luke, and David, welcome to 3 voor 12 Radio. Good evening.
Hello.
Hello, good evening.
How are you doing today? Because you played the amazing Wildeburg festival yesterday. How was that?
Yeah, it was great.
It was incredible.
A lot of fun. We're feeling quite delicate
Yeah.
today.
Shabby.
Yeah, a bit shabby today.
Because the festival is known that you really lose everything. You don't know where the stages are. There's no particular order. You just go everywhere, right?
Yeah, they gave you a map, and the map looks not really like a map. So that when they said, "Oh, this is where you can get food," we were just lost instantly by just looking at it. And so yeah, you just have to walk around, and then you see people in zoo carts doing safari rides, and yeah, you feel like you're in the wilderness.
And
Immersive.
in terms of backstage for the artist, for you as the band, was everything clear? Was everything well organized at the festival?
Yeah, it was very, in comparison to some of the festivals we've been over the past 4 days. Yeah, it was.
We
it
were
was
well
bloody
looked
great.
after.
Yeah.
And the audience?
Oh my gosh.
Incredible.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
We couldn't ask for a better crowd
Oh.
today.
Absolutely. Oh, it was
They
the
went
best.
for it. A lot of dancing, a lot of whooping, a lot of noise,
A lot
Yeah.
of singing.
a lot of singing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Incredible.
Cool. You can get a little bit closer to the mic. While I was doing my research, because you just played a song and then we played some of the songs that we think that's gonna fit well for Elder Island on 3FM. That was on 3FM. You Don't Know Me by Armand van Helden. Do you know where that came from? You have any idea why we played that song for you?
It's a banger.
It's a great tune, but
Yeah.
You were
Just don't
asked
know
about your
why.
favorite summer tunes, right? And then
Oh,
you came up with this
yeah.
song, so that's
it
why
was
we
on our
thought
playlist,
It
yeah.
we're
was.
gonna play it.
That's
That is very true. It is.
It's just party, isn't it?
It's a
It's party,
summertime
party.
banger.
Yeah.
Keep the Wildeburg spirit
Yeah.
still here in the studio. Cool. Let's talk a bit about the band Elder Island, because what I find quite interesting is that the formative experience of the band was when you guys were at university, right? Can you tell me a little bit about the story, how you found each other and got together as a band?
Well, it started more. We were all doing different creative subjects. Doing art. I was doing graphic design. Katy was doing fine art, and Luke was studying photography. And me and Luke used to play music when we were younger together, and we still played music now and again. But it was more finding out that Katy used to play cello, and started experimenting with that, but more in an artistic manner, more in to accompany her fine art projects and things like that. And then we started to just play a few tunes together and just jam and noodle away in the living room. And then
It was more arty, wasn't it?
yeah, more noise, sculptural sort of stuff. It's very experimental.
Yeah, so you didn't start as a band with a business plan and
No,
everything. You wanted
God,
to.
nothing like
When
that.
did that came in?
A year ago? Like last week? I don't know.
Business,
We're
yeah.
still figuring it out. Yeah.
And how do you still combine everything that you're doing besides music, like in ways of art for the band? Because what I loved when I listened to you guys for the first time was the artwork. I think you also created some of that yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, the
Yeah.
whole Omnitone Collection artwork was all of us making. We made all the objects. We photographed all the objects.
Yeah, could you describe for the radio listener the objects and the idea behind the debut album? What's that?
Well, it's
Start with the objects.
the objects are very they're kind of obscure objects. They're kind of alternate reality sort of.
Sometimes it looks like radio. Then it
Yeah,
Yeah,
looks
they
like
look like a
another-
range
You don't
of
quite know what they are, but
Yeah.
they're kind of household items or like video
electronic
games,
lifestyle items.
products, but of a time where it's just like you don't know where they're from. To make it a bit more timeless, it could be they look like they're from the 60s or they look like they're from the future. You don't quite know.
Yeah.
And it kind of developed. It just kept going. We kind of went down the rabbit hole of starting on a loose idea of being quite illustrative until we were like, let's just make them. And product designed them, CAD'd them, made them, and put them all together. And it's like, we went a bit crazy with that idea.
Is that just as important as the music for you, to have the image and the art, the idea that you have in mind
I think it is.
out there?
The visual is, yeah.
Yeah, the visual aspect always
Yeah.
accompanies it.
whether it's the video, whether it's the artwork, whether it's the single artwork. Yeah, it's how you relate someone to something, and that's something that we've always, every time we've written new music, that's how we've always come back to it. It's like, right, how do we create a body work that is a body of work that that is in keeping with that, and it ties it together.
Yeah, I think we'd wanted to make the album for such a long time, and I think the kind of concept of sitting down with like buying a record as well, like vinyl's quite big. It's a big theme for us, and so we wanted to create something that you'd sit down and like flip through while listening to the record, and so in that way the artwork was really important for how it would go along with the music.
Cool, nice. And the nice thing is that you will be back in Holland in November, I thought.
Yeah, November the 27th.
Yeah.
In Melkweg.
Melkweg, Amsterdam.
Which, yeah,
yes.
we're really excited because we've played there once before in the other room, wasn't it?
Yeah, March.
And what can we expect for in terms of the live experience? Because of course we're gonna hear the next song live on 3FM, but for the people that are like driving in the car and only listening to audio, what do we see on stage, or what do you want people to dance like, or move like, or experience during a gig?
I mean, any dancing is just the best, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like we
Any
try
dancing
and
allowed.
like we make an album and on a record, but when we play it live, we try and adapt it so it's a live version of what we've made. So when we tour the music live, we kind of tour it with the intention of like, yeah, everyone getting off their feet and dancing and singing and moving and just feeling it as much as we feel it. So yeah, that's the main important thing.
Cool, thanks a lot.